Hey friends, Rachel here. So, oh no. Okay, so today I want to talk about 5 things to do that you can do quickly and immediately that can help you stop feeling as stressed. So often, one of the main reasons that we can feel very overwhelmed and stressed and feel like we're about to lose it is because we feel powerless, okay? I talk about this with the kids as well. They do something similar if they feel powerless. So if you feel like life is out of control and you just want things to be different than they are, or you can't believe XYZ is happening and you wish it wasn't, this is like you feel powerless. You feel like everything sucks and you can't fix it, right? That's the feeling. And it's a really overwhelming feeling. So I have found lately when I start to have that feeling that I will do one of these 5 things and immediately feel better. Immediately I'll start to be like, okay, wait a minute, this thing that's stressing me out, I can find a solution. That thing that I hate that's happening, it doesn't have to stay that way, right? Once I'm able to feel okay again, I can start thinking of solutions. So the first thing that I do when I'm feeling stressed is throw things away. My husband's like, oh no, here she goes. She's got a trash bag again. And I'm like, I can't help myself. If I feel stressed, I will get a trash bag. The other day I was feeling, I was losing it. I got a trash bag. I went to everybody's room and gathered up all the clothes that I needed to either throw away or give away. I just took, a handful out of everybody's room and I filled up a trash bag and I felt so much better. I was like, did I feel bad 30 minutes ago? It's like the best day ever. And that's what happens because it gives you a feeling of control. Not to mention all the feel-good feelings that come from decluttering, which is a real thing. Feeling like you're getting rid of excess weight feels good. So if you're feeling stressed, just like run to your closet or one of your kids' closet and get rid of all the old stuff. It feels good. So the number 2 thing that you can do if you're feeling stressed and powerless is to clean off all the main surfaces in your highly trafficked areas. This might be like for kitchen, for example. I am a little bit overboard in this area. I don't like anything to be on the counters except like a toaster, a knife block, and a vase of flowers or cutting board. Like I clean everything out. I mean, I like to go to bed and it'd be like, does anybody live here? I don't know. I'm not, but that's because it helps me to feel very calm. So you might not be crazy about it like that. I'm sure most people aren't. However, you will get an extreme feeling of peace when you clear off the surfaces. So whatever you've got, maybe your dining room table, you can't even eat on it because it's full of stuff. Take the stuff if it needs to be done something with, put it where it needs to be done. Like do some of the things that need to be done or throw away some of the stuff or find a better place for it. Put it all in a basket somewhere else. If you can be in the main areas of your house and the surfaces be clean, it really gives you a sense of peace. So even if you have like entry tables, side tables, console tables, and they're kind of full of tchotchkes and things, I'm talking about this is an immediate solution. If one of them's feeling extra busy, if you can walk over to it, clear it out, put it in a cupboard, that visually quiet space will help quiet your soul. I'm not the only one saying this. I'm not crazy. It's just really true. And I'll throw this in here for good. If your kids' rooms are what's causing you stress, do the same thing in their rooms. And now I'm not saying take stuff that they bought and move, but like, especially if your kids are younger, you bought that stuff, okay? You don't have to, like, it's your house. You can do with whatever you want. So if you want to work together with your kid to figure out what things are extra, what things can be put away, you can do this in their room. Because if they can't keep their room clean, if it's a total nightmare and it's difficult for them to clean because there's so much stuff, getting rid of some of the stuff, even if you don't actually get rid of it, but getting bigger baskets for things, putting them in closets, whatever it might be, helping find a solution so that their rooms don't get out of hand will also help. The third thing I like to do, and I like to do this every night as well, is I like to do a house sweep. So I call it the evening sweep. I have a post about it, I'll link below. I do that every night. But I just like run around the house like a maniac and put things back where they go. I mean, really, sometimes if I'm stressed and my kids are like, what's wrong with mommy? What's happening? I don't know. Actually, they don't do that because they do know. Like, they're like, she's going around. And they'll even jump up and help me sometimes. But I'll go in the living room. All the little toys I'll grab and throw in the baskets. All the pillows I'll bang and fluff and put on the couch. clothes or socks or that are around, I'll throw them in a laundry basket. Shoes or somewhere, I'll go put them in the shoe bin outside of the door. And one thing that I do that helps me do this is I am not a micro organizer, I'm a macro organizer. So that means like I have a shoe bin outside our back door. I shove all the shoes there. Now, if the kids want to take them in their room, that's fine. They can put them where they go. But I'm not like, this shoe goes to here and this shoe goes to here. Too bad, so sad. You left your shoe on my floor. It's going out the back door. I don't know what to say. I do the same thing with toys. I just put them all in big baskets. Oh, that was your toy. It's supposed to go in your room. Should have left it on the floor. Take it in your room. Put it up. I don't care. Can't be on the floor. So this really helps you from being super... from feeling like the house is just taking over, right? If you do this every night, your house never gets that bad. This is a true story. At any given time, I'm like 10 minutes away from a house looking like anybody barely lives there. I am not bragging. My kids make huge, huge messes. They really, one time, crumbled up an entire styrofoam package, like big TV all over the floor. Okay. So my kids make huge messes, but I do have big macro. I feel like that's like a science term. Maybe it's economics. Hope I'm using it right. I studied liberal arts. Anyway, I organize in a big, easy way so I can just shove stuff in it quickly. That really helps. So the fourth thing that I do if I'm feeling really stressed, and often the stress can come at like the dinner time hour, or you know, when you have to cook or whatever, and you're like, I'm totally over it. My husband just got a new job and he comes home an hour later now, and I'm like, really? Like, this is the worst time for you to be gone an extra hour. So what I have figured out, so my fourth point, if you're feeling really bad, I'm not talking about like an average stress. If you're like over the top of the average stress and you're like careening towards like breakdown, get takeout and occupy the kids. Now, what I have done is I've figured out the places in the town where I live, which is very small, what takeout options are affordable and not extremely unhealthy. So I might get like, you know, a family spaghetti and salad from the Italian place, and it's not that expensive. You know, I figured out where I can, if I'm feeling extremely stressed and I don't just rely on this all the time, where I can get something healthy and fast and that I didn't have to cook. And that way I don't feel guilty, because it's not like, oh, I got McDonald's again. Like, that really weighs on you. You do that all the time, right? So, you know, find some healthy takeouts, or, you know, even better, use freezer meals that you have, just pop in there, and then occupy the kids. So it's in the long term, my goal is that the kids are very low tech. That's my long term. But that doesn't mean that I won't put a movie on for them on a Thursday evening if I'm about to lose it, because I will. And so, you know, if this is a habit you're getting into every day, well, then this is something to look at. Refer to my boundaries and limits video and post. But if this is just the occasional, I'm totally over it, occupy them. And then if they're quiet and fed, you can like have a minute to do the other stuff or get something done or whatever it is. So the fifth thing that I do, and I did this just the other day, and boy, I was feeling so good after this. I filed away or threw away papers. So if you have a place, it could be your kitchen counter, it could be an office, where you keep papers, like papers that need to be filed, bills that need to be paid, or whatever. I know most of our bills are probably online now, but some of them, like medical bills, you know, we would still get in the mail. And you know, people want to send mail even though they could email you. Whatevs. Anyway, file those. It feels really good to take a stack of papers and file them away. If you have papers on the counter, take them, put them where they go. One touch. It's called the one touch system. It's like if you grab it once, don't put it down somewhere else, because then you'll have to touch it again to put it in its final location. Grab it and put it in its final location. That's one touch. And because I feel like there's one more, so it's like 5 things, but I'm at a bonus, like an extra. So the 6th thing that I would say that you should do if you're feeling very overwhelmed and powerless and stressed is to finish something that you started that's not finished. I even like to have a list of unfinished projects, because if you're like me, you're like so excited to start a project, and then you can get like a long way through it. And for me, I know I am a finisher. I'm driven to finish, but that doesn't mean I start and finish one project before starting another one. No, I'll start like 10 projects and then I'll finish them sporadically as it comes. Well, this actually, you know, isn't necessarily all that bright. Perhaps I should do like 4 projects, because then it gets to where a few projects are backed up and I feel the weight of everything that's unfinished. And I think we all do, but some personalities feel it worse. So for example, doers and beers. If you're a doer, you feel the weight. It's like a physical feeling in your head and your heart of needing to finish something. Beers can sort of turn it off and they can be okay. So if you're a beer, you probably don't even resonate with this video at all. But if you're a doer, then that's a heavy weight on you. So go finish. What is an easy project? Okay, do you need to buy something to finish it? Do you need to call somebody to come in and fix it? Do you need to just finally do that one thing? Or do you even need to say, now I'm not going to do that one thing and knock it off so that it's finished because it's gone? These things will immediately help you to feel some sense of personal power, to feel back in control, and they'll free you up. They'll basically take you out of fight or flight so that you can actually have a minute to think, what's going on? What is a lasting, longer term change that I can make so that I don't feel this way regularly? But they give you a high sense of satisfaction. Now, if you think these are all crazy and don't give you satisfaction, I don't know what to say. Is something wrong with me? I hope this hits you right where you need it today, and I'll talk to you later.